Throwdown Nation, welcome to episode 8 of the Throwdown with Matt. And uh, this has been a pretty incredible week. And it just continues on and on. And I am blessed to have with me my guest, who is the current PWE champion, Mr. Sean Legacy. How you doing, Sean?
Doing good, Matt. Matter of fact, hold on real quick.
Okay.
Let me get this bad boy out for you, Matt. Let me get this bad boy. You said it. The current PWE heavyweight champion. And man,
Absolutely.
It feels absolutely nice.
It looks good on you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
So we'll just go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of the content here, and we'll start with the first and most obvious question, Sean, and that is, how long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling it's been 6 years. 6 years. It's on in October. It will be 7. So
Wow. So you're still youngish in the business, but you are far from a rookie.
yeah, I am still very youngish, and I will never, even if I was 20 years in the business, you can always learn. I'm never gonna be the guy where it's like, no, I know everything. No, I'm always, every show I go to, I'm gonna learn something.
Absolutely. The day you stop learning, you die.
Yep. Seriously.
So, getting started, who actually trained you?
So, there are 2 people. There's a place in Columbia. I trained over a woman named Susan Green. Did that for a couple of months, and then I kind of got retrained by a guy named Ethan Case, who retrained me, and that was about in 2020 during the COVID. So when wrestling wasn't going on, especially indie wrestling, when indie wrestling wasn't going on during COVID, I kind of got to retrain with Ethan. So basically, that's all I was doing in 2020 was just training, was just getting the psychology part of wrestling.
Gotcha. You know, I have talked to several Ethan Case products recently, and man, he is just a gift to independent wrestling. And it's funny, I've told a couple of people this story, but years ago, probably 9 or 10 years ago now, my wife and I were actually out to dinner near where we live in Metro Atlanta, and Ethan Case was our waiter that night.
Wow.
and somehow the topic came up that he wrestled, and so I got his social media, and I've been kind of following his career loosely ever since. And I saw that he'd opened the academy and everything. I'm hoping one of these days soon to get him on a live stream, because I would love to pick his brain.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a small world sometimes.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yep. So at what point in your life, Sean, did you know that you wanted to try to make a go of this?
Probably, man, that's a tough one, because there's like two. That's like watching it as a fan is like, I want to do this, but then, man, maybe the first time I stepped foot in a ring, that first bump I took, seeing the ring in person, and first time ever getting in and standing in it. And as you're standing in it, your imagination starts to come alive as you're looking around the building. And now, because it was like in a little warehouse, but you're picturing it like WrestleMania kind of thing. You're like, wow, I'm in the ring. This is fantastic. And then that first bump, and I mean, it was painful. It hurt. The first one I took, it hurt, but still, it was like, ooh, I was getting like amped. I was getting pumped. I was like, okay, I'm digging this. I'm liking this. Let's do this. So that's probably the time, honestly.
Gotcha. That was probably the moment it all became real.
Yeah, 100%.
Very cool.
I'll never forget that feeling. I'll never forget that.
Yeah, I have heard that especially the first few times, those back bumps are killer.
Yeah, they're a killer, dude. It depends on what ring you're in. Every ring's different.
Right.
And um, the only ring that I've been in that I felt like I could jump off a 20-foot building and land in it and be fine is Pro Wrestling Noah's ring.
Oh,
They
over in Japan?
Yeah, that's a nice ring. That is a nice ring. I have no problem doing springboards and landing on my back on that one. Like it's
Huh.
extremely nice. Yeah, yeah. They
What
take care. They take care of it. It looks stiff, but nah, it's nice.
what's out of curiosity, what's different about it?
I guess the way they take care of it, the paddings.
Hmm,
It probably is. They put like two paddings in it.
gotcha.
I can't tell you the type of material it is, but and it's tight too. They have it tight. It's like not loose or anything, so it's not shifting, which is nice too. That helps out a lot as well.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So, away from wrestling, what are some of your other hobbies and interests?
Oh man, one's football. I love football. I'm a football fanatic, and football's coming up.
It
I'm
is, it is.
College football 25 just came out. It's been what was it, 11 years? 11 years since it. So I've been playing that game 24/7. But watching football, playing video games, and working out. I mean, that's it. That's it.
Nice, nice. So, is wrestling for you a full-time thing, or do you have a day job, so to speak?
Oh, it's a full-time thing right now. Yes, and it's nice. I'm literally living the dream.
That is awesome. If you can manage to make a living doing what you love, there is nothing better than that.
Seriously, it's nice.
You are a blessed man.
Yeah, yep. I know I am. I'm very lucky as well. I've had a lot of supportive people as well. Uh, one of them is my girlfriend who supports me with that. So, and she's fantastic. She's helped me out a lot with that. So,
Well, having somebody that loves and supports you with what you want to do is so key. I mean, I my wife, I mean, this obviously is not my full time thing,
mhm.
but I started doing this stuff back in January, and she has been nothing but supportive in it. She actually does some live streaming herself, and when she goes live, I kind of do her tech support, and she does the same thing for me. So,
That's all.
it's really been a great partnership.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. Yeah, that was one thing when I first started was I said to myself I could do this on my own. Man, that was a mistake. That
Yeah,
was
yeah, you can try, but I've found that as this venture is starting to gain traction, it's getting so busy that it's hard to keep everything straight by
yeah,
yourself.
serious. 100%.
So you are billed as being from Augusta, Georgia. Is that your actual hometown?
Yep. Born and raised here in Augusta, Georgia. Yeah.
Awesome. What is your favorite thing about Augusta?
Oh man, that's a uh my friends. My friends here in Augusta. There's really, man, there's I don't know, there's just Augusta can get boring pretty quickly, man, especially if you live here. Like the only time I really miss Augusta is when I'm out wrestling and like I'm up north and I'm gone for the whole weekend. I'm like, oh, can't wait to be back in Augusta because this is where I live. This is my house and I know where everything's at. So, but I don't know, man. I guess my friends here in Augusta, I really don't have a place. I really don't. me and my girlfriend, we like walking outside. So maybe we'll do some downtown walks and stuff like that. But that's about it.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, they say that the very best wrestling personas are yourself turned up to 11.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about Sean Legacy and compare and contrast him with everyday Sean.
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Sean Legacy is definitely, and this is what Ethan helped me out a lot. He helped me get the there's Sean Legacy, then there's wrestling Sean Legacy, and I got the wrestling part down. I got that part down. That was wrestling Sean Legacy, but wrestling Sean Legacy was boring. It was boring. It was all about the moves, and that was really it. When you watch a show, you know you're going to see wrestling. So what makes you stand out? What makes you different? So that's when Ethan helped me out with the charismatic side, and him saying, "Hey, the stuff you do outside the ring, that you do in the gym, that makes all of us laugh, you could do that in that ring. That is totally fine. You know that, right?" So, but at first, I always thought wrestling was like this serious thing. No, we gotta make ball our fist, and here we go, boom, boom. No, you can have fun with it. So if that's one thing that I've taken out, is I've always been fun. I'm a fun person. I'm a funny person. So now I need to put that into wrestling, and I've been doing a really great job at it. So,
Gotcha. Speaking of funny, I had Florida Man on last night, and he is just a trip.
yeah, yeah, that's where it's
Yeah.
at, man.
Oh
Entertainment,
yeah.
being charismatic.
Yep. So, do you have a preference yourself between working heel or babyface?
No, not really. I prefer face, just because I enjoy it more. But if I have to be healed, that's fine. I don't like
Mhm.
I really don't mind it. I prefer face. I really do enjoy being the baby face. I've when I was younger, I've always liked the heroes. You know,
Mhm.
like like I like I like bad guys too. Like I thought there were some cool bad guys, but I've always liked the heroes. So like Cena was one of my all-time favorites. So now I probably prefer to be face.
Gotcha. Oh, my wife just just commented, "Wow, awesome."
Thank you.
Yeah, she and my son are actually up in North Carolina this week for a family reunion, and that's why I booked as many of these this week as I did, because it gives me something to do in the
Yeah,
evenings.
yeah. That's a smart man. That's a smart man.
So, so let's see here. Lost my place. Okay, so if you can remember back this far, tell me about your very first match. What was it like? How did it feel?
Dude, the worst. It was the worst. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. I actually watched it like a week ago with Cody Fluffman. I was watching with him because uh, we just wanted to laugh. So we just wanted to laugh. So we watched my first match, and it's terrible. It is absolutely. It was actually like it was funny, but it was so bad that like it wasn't funny. Like it was so bad. It was so like at first it was like, oh, this is hilarious, and then when it kept going, it was like, oh my god, you sucked. Like holy cow, this is so bad. Like I want to laugh, but I can't because no, it was horrible. It was horrible.
so it was funny, but it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. It's funny. It's funny when you see a clip or two, but then when you're watching it, you're just like, oh, this is getting so bad. So yeah, I remember. It was in Grovetown, actually. It was in Grovetown, Georgia. That's when I wrestled at. I think the promotion is called UCW. They don't run anymore, but it was. I worked for free my first show. I was happy. Uh, and I did it. I remember walking out and I had my kick pads on, and I was so like nervous and so excited at the same time. Where on my kick pads, my tags were out, and I'm wearing black kick pads. So on the back of my kick pads, you just see white tags just hanging off of them, and it was so annoying, so bad. I forgot to tuck them in.
Well, you learn from everything.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
Okay, so we've heard about your first match. Now tell us about your favorite match that you've been a part of, if you have one in particular.
Favorite match that I've been a part of. Man, that's tough. That's so tough because it's like I'm gonna name one, and then when I name one, I'm like, oh no, well there was this one. This one was cool. Because it all has different moments. It's like there are
Right.
moments for ones. So, you know, I guess a recent one I had was a tag match with Cody and I. It was at Action Wrestling, and see, I already got two. So I'll do a tag one with Cody, then I'll do a single one. So it was a tag match with Cody, and we had the match. At the end of it, we got a standing ovation with just Cody and I. So like the crowd stood up, started clapping. I did a promo, and they started chanting, and that was a cool moment. The match itself was good, but that moment right there of them standing up doing the standing ovation was awesome. Singles, the recent one I had was against Johnny, and I debuted in Canada. Made a debut in Canada called Top Tier Wrestling, and I had this match with Johnny. Um, and after the match, not only did I get the dub, but my debut in Canada. These people have no idea who I am, and they stood and did a standing ovation, and they were chanting my name, and it was the coolest moment because there are moments while I'm wrestling or while I'm talking about wrestling that I say, I get this. I get this stuff. I do. I swear I get it. Just listen to me. And that was the moment right there where it was like, I get it. I get it. I understand this. And this right here is proof. And like it was, man, it was a great feeling. My debut, first time in Canada. These people have no idea who I am, and people were standing at the end of it and started clapping. It was so cool, so cool.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, what have been some of the most unusual experiences that you've had in wrestling?
Oh man,
I'm sure there's a ton.
so there was one in the same place, Top Tier, and this little girl wanted a picture with me, and I said, yeah, but her nose, she was bleeding like badly, and I was like, oh my god, are you okay? And she was, yeah. She's like smiling. She's like, yeah, I want to take a picture. And I was like, okay, are you sure? She goes, yeah. And her mom goes, when you won, she hit herself in the nose when she jumped up. She went bang.
Oh.
So she was bleeding and stuff. So the little girl, like she was nervous at first. So when I took the picture, the mom was saying, tell him. And she goes, what? And she was like, can you look like, she was like, can you look like you're like punching me? You know what I mean? And I was like, yeah, sure. So I'm like pretending that I'm like punching her. And then she wanted to switch it where she was like, is it cool if I look like I'm punching you and I got this bloody nose? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm like selling it as she's punching me back. And I
Oh,
thought,
that's great.
yeah. I thought that was, at first it was very unusual. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, this little girl has her nose is bleeding. But yeah, that was pretty cool at the end. You know, trying to think, maybe I guess you can always go to the bathroom, you know, go into the bathroom, you know, using the urinal, and somebody's coming up to you and asking you and goes, "Are you a wrestler?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I'm in my wrestling gear. They're like, "Can we get a picture?" And I'm like, I mean, yeah, when I'm done. I mean, when I'm done, we can. And he goes, "Cool." And then I'll just walk out. And he goes, "They didn't even use the bathroom." So
Yeah, that's a little. There's lines that shouldn't be crossed,
yeah.
and but people are going to cross them. So
Well,
people.
100%.
Yep, yep, yep. So as far as your in-ring stuff and your promos, who would you say would be some of your influences?
In ring, I would want to say AJ Styles. I love AJ Styles' work. AJ Styles, promo wise, probably would go with John Cena because I love John Cena, and his promos were always good. I love a good hero promo, and Cena does literally the best hero promos. Um, so yeah, I'll probably have to go with that. There's some other wrestlers wrestling wise, but AJ Styles is probably the number one because I do certain moves that he does.
Well, something that I noticed at the PWE show. Um, my son and I were ringside, and just down from us, there was a, for lack of a better term, a little old lady who just adores you.
Miss
I don't know. I
Miss
don't know who she was, but she was a trip.
That's her name, Miss Betty. Yeah, she loves some Sean Legacy. The good old Miss Betty. Whoop whoop. Miss Betty, she loves Sean. She just loves wrestling in general. Like, yes, I know she loves me, but she's a hardcore fan that will, if I'm not there in the ring, she's gonna cheer for the good guy and boo the bad guy. And it's I don't want to say we make fun of Betty a lot, but we do mess with her. But like PWE is really lucky to have a Miss Betty because
Mm-hmm.
because she helps get the people involved in these chants and stuff like that. Like, because she will start some of these chants and then she'll get the whole people going. So like, and it's better for like Miss Betty or the fans to start it than us. So, but man, I'm glad to have Miss Betty part of PWE. She helps out a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I could tell she was just having the time of her life,
She
and
loves it.
that is just so cool to see.
She loves it. She loves wrestling. Loves it.
Gotcha, gotcha. So, do you have an all-time favorite match as a fan? One that you can go back and watch over and over, and it never gets old, and you can always glean something new from it.
Oh, I would probably, I would probably go with, I'm gonna go with WWE here. One's WrestleMania 28 with Triple H and The Undertaker in the Hell in the Cell, and Shawn Michaels was the ref. I actually watched this match uh, a couple days ago because it has the greatest falsy like in wrestling history, the greatest falsy ever. When Shawn Michaels as the ref super kicks Undertaker, Triple H gives him the pedigree, then goes for the pin, and then Shawn Michaels counts, and it was 2.9999. And
Yep.
man, that's the greatest falsy ever because I remember watching that going, this is it, this is the streak, and then man, that was insane, and it's crazy, and that means something because like I don't remember that many falsies in wrestling, like
Right.
I don't remember that many like, oh, he kicked out, I usually remember some moments and like the finish and stuff like that, but that falsy, I really can't tell you another crazy falsy that like really got me, like the Undertaker Triple H one. That one was insane. So that match was great. WrestleMania 27 was actually my first WrestleMania I've ever seen. Not in person, but live on TV on a pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
So the first Triple H and Undertaker match made me really fall in love with wrestling, like watching that, because it was good. It was really good.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So, and this can be present day or any point in the past. Who would be a dream opponent? Who would be somebody that you would just love to work?
AJ Styles. I would love to wrestle AJ Styles. I would say John Cena, but man, he's retiring. He's
Yeah,
gonna he's retiring. You know, I don't say like I say AJ Styles because I like to think of like which one's really pretty possible. What's a possible match? What could possibly happen? John Cena, that's not gonna happen. But AJ Styles, I mean, he just wrestled. He just did pro wrestling. Noah had a match with Marufuji. So I don't know. I would love to wrestle AJ Styles. I would love to wrestle AJ Styles, and like we would probably be talking about more about football and Georgia football because he's a Georgia fan just like me. We'll probably talk about more sports than we will our match. Like I guarantee.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So, I'm thinking as traveled as you have been as a wrestler that you probably have, but have you had a chance to meet any of your heroes?
Um. Let's see. I'm honestly trying to think. I mean, I've met some really, really cool people, like some really amazing people. Hero wise, I don't think I have yet, but the closest one was probably Marufuji. It was unbelievable meeting him, and he treated me so nice in Japan. Um, you know, as a kid, I didn't really watch that much Japan wrestling, so I was always WWE. I really was. Um, so I couldn't call Marufuji a hero, but man, he was definitely being a hero to me when I was in Japan. He was being so nice, taking me out to eat, always wanting to hang out, and I thought that was fantastic. Marufuji's probably the closest one though.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, you're still a pretty young guy, obviously, but you're far enough into your career now that I'm sure you're starting to feel it. So what hurts right now?
Man, my lower back's killing me, dude. I don't know if it's this. I don't know if it's this chair. Oh, yeah. My lower back's killing me, but I mean, right now I'm healthy. I got a lower back, but my lower back hurts. But that's on me. That's for sitting around all day. That's probably sitting around all day doing nothing. But man, I'm fine. I'm healthy. I know how to take care of myself. I do my stretches.
That's good. Yeah, it's interesting. When I was talking to Florida Man last night, he said the same thing. The lower back.
Yeah.
I think that's probably probably going to be the answer from the majority of people.
It's always gonna be back pain, some type of back pain. That's gonna
Yeah.
be the majority of the back pain, or maybe hips.
Yeah. Drew Adler. When I talked to him, I guess a couple weeks ago, he said his hips were kind of bothering him.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, I do want to take some time now and actually talk with you about the upcoming show on the 8th with PWE. You've got a title defense coming up with Anthony Henry. Tell me how that match came about, and kind of give me your thoughts on the match and on your opponent.
This match kind of surprised me as well. When I was told I was going to face Anthony Henry, I was pretty excited. because when I watched my first indie match, my first ever indie match was at Patriots Park. It was called Flatline Pro Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching some of these guys, and I was totally that dude that would stand up in the crowd and go, "Oh, I think I'm bigger than him. I think I could do this. Oh, I think I'm taller than him. I think I could beat him." But like Anthony, when he came out, because he was the main event, he's the one that really caught my attention. It's like, okay, this guy's cool. This guy looks legit. And I was like, this guy looks like a wrestler. And I was like, I would love to wrestle him. So like, I guess indie wrestling wise, Anthony Henry was probably my favorite. Was my favorite, honestly. Seeing him, and the fact that he is born and raised in Augusta was pretty cool as well. So the fact that I get to wrestle him now, because we wrestled before. We've wrestled 3 times. One was a tag team, and then I wrestled him twice in singles. One was years ago. Another one was a place called WrestleCade, and the tag team was at Palmetto Championship Wrestling. And yeah, I won all of those. So so that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I'm 2-0 against Anthony Henry in singles. 1-0 against his tag team. And now, I'm not gonna lie, next week I'm looking forward to be 3-0. So
yeah, it sounds like a plan.
oh yeah.
I've actually enjoyed his work with JD Drake as the workhorseman on AEW. They are an underrated tag team.
Extremely underrated. You're absolutely right. Extremely underrated. And I believe Drake is hurt right now. So it's like Henry was hurt, Drake was fine. Now Drake's hurt, Henry's fine. So yeah. I'm really hoping they can get healthy together and they can start running as a tag team, because yes, they are extremely underrated, and it should be their time to shine, especially at AEW.
Yeah. So I guess currently, what are your thoughts on the state of the industry in general?
I mean, it's you man. I guess, I mean, I love it right now, especially for indie wrestling. Like wrestling's starting to be cool again. Wrestling's starting to get really cool again, and wrestling's growing like everywhere now, and it helps with social media with wrestling as well. Using social media to help indie wrestling grow. So I'm having a good time. Don't get me wrong. I want to get signed. I'm trying to get that Anthony Henry contract, but still, like, there's money to make for indie wrestling because it's growing so much. So there's really no excuse of not having just about every weekend filled with wrestling, because there's so much out there. If you're getting 1 show a month, 2 shows a month, hell, even 3 shows a month, that's totally on you, because you're not reaching out or you're just not good enough. So like, wrestling is growing. Like, you should be slammed. Everyone should be packed. Like, it's nice.
Absolutely. And, like I was telling you before we went live, it's an exciting time to be a fan too, because, with a lot of the stuff that's going on right now, like, I mean, I'm not going to completely badmouth the guy, because, he made a lot of contributions to the business, obviously, but the stuff that's going on in WWE right now would not have been possible under Vince. Yeah. I mean, and it's, I was telling Florida Man last night, there is so much irony in my view that D-Generation X is now actually running the company. I mean, I just think that's awesome. That
It's
Hunter and Sean.
yeah, they're literally running it now. Out of
Yeah,
all the jokes they've done, and now
yeah,
they're literally running it. So
yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, going from being these anti-authority figures to being the authority figures is there's some irony there too. But
Yeah, seriously.
anyway, but but yeah, and speaking of just leveraging social media, Joe Hendry is just on fire right
Yeah,
now.
man.
I mean,
He's literally probably the most over wrestler right now. Like in
yeah,
my the most over wrestler right now. And what's crazy is we say that he is the most over wrestler, but I don't know. It's like I feel like wrestler is not the right word for him because like not he's a great wrestler. Don't get me wrong, but he's not popular because of that.
right.
He's not over because of his wrestling.
No,
It's that damn theme song, and
yeah,
it is being charismatic of like making other songs
mm-hmm,
of his opponent. Like
yeah,
it's that wrestling just comes with it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And that's what's making him so popular. Like, man, when people tell you that the wrestling part does not matter, they mean it. The wrestling does not matter. It doesn't because it's at the point where Joe Hendry is so popular where he could probably do his theme song, do a choke slam, and leave, and people will be happy. They just want to see that theme song live and him run out and start singing it.
right.
Like, and it has nothing to do with wrestling. It has nothing to do. The NXT, he did his concert. He did a concert. That's
Yeah,
why. That's why people watched it. They wanted to see him play guitar and sing.
yeah,
What did that have to do with wrestling? It had nothing to do with wrestling. That's a singer. He was a singer. That's what he was doing. He was just
yeah.
being a musician.
But he has cracked the code on going viral.
Yeah,
I mean, but
yeah,
but yeah, looking around on YouTube and seeing some of the songs he has come up with to mock his opponents,
it's
and watching the opponent trying to stay in character and not bust out laughing is just hysterically funny.
it's great. He does a great job, and that's I don't get me wrong. I bet it's still pretty hard work of these shows because I don't know if he's doing it to every opponent. The last one I've seen, he did it with uh was it Elias? Elias, he did one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, where he's making fun of Elias, and then his theme song played. And but man, I bet it's still hard working, like making those videos and stuff. So,
oh
but
no
hey,
doubt. I mean,
yeah, man, it's working for him, man. It really is. And that's what I'm trying to do. That's what I'm still trying to figure out. Joe Hendry's been wrestling for a while, so I know he's still been wrestling for a while, trying to figure out what works best for him, and he's got it now. But that's what I'm still trying to figure out because I got the wrestling part down. I got that down 100%. But what makes me different? What
yeah.
stands out? What is it? What's the moment of part of my match that like people just love to see? And Joe Hendry's is his theme song.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. So, you're still a pretty young guy, but
mhm.
if you could, knowing everything that you know now, if you could give any advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Follow your own path. Follow your own path. Don't worry about anyone else's story. Don't follow anybody else's story. Worry about your own story. Um, because when you're so focused on other people's work and when you see them succeed so quickly, you start asking yourself, is it my age? Is it my look? Is it my wrestling? What did I do? Maybe this isn't cut out for me. So maybe, and then you start to like not work as hard, not work out as hard. So man, if I could go back to younger self, it's man, just follow your story, follow your own story. Trust me, you got this. You got this.
Gotcha. And would you have any advice for any young people that might be looking to break into the business?
Yeah. I mean, man, I guess what I said to myself, younger self, I would say to them as well, is follow your own story. Because a lot of guys, whenever they start, like as soon as they start, they want to be like their favorite wrestler. And there's nothing wrong with that, but like that's cool, but that's not gonna get you a job. It's not gonna get you if your favorite wrestler is AJ Styles and you're going out there doing the phenomenal forearm and the Styles Clash, and that like that's what you want to hit is your moves. It's not going to get you a job because you're so focused on wanting to be like AJ Styles and stuff like that. So be you, work on being you, be creative, try your best, and it's only going to get harder and harder, in my opinion, of trying to be creative in this business because this business is never going to die.
Right.
So it's got to, you just got to be more creative, or maybe it might be like going in a circle, you know, maybe old school wrestling is going to be coming back soon. People aren't going to see the high flying. Maybe people want to see maybe people want to see a headlock as a finish, you know, who knows, but you just got to be more creative. But if I was telling a younger person, I would tell them, be creative, work on your own story, and be you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and in your case, you know, you obviously didn't try to be the next AJ Styles. You tried to be the first Shawn Legacy.
Yep, 100%. 100%.
And obviously it's paying off.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
So, do you have a favorite move to do? Something you just love doing, and on the flip side, is there a move that you won't do?
My favorite move I do is my finish because nobody else does it. So that's pretty cool. It's called shambles, and I put them in a torture rack, and I push off of them, and then I do a spinning net breaker off of the torture rack. So I like doing that move when I can. Move that I don't. I mean, man, there's a bunch of them I don't want to do that I probably wouldn't do. One's probably a 630. I would never do that. Or the like the backflip when they do two backflips. You will never ever see me do that. No siree, Bob.
Yeah, so you're not Ricochet.
I'm not Ricochet. I can do a 450. I can do a moonsault, but I'm not doing the. Now listen, 630. There might possibly could do it. I might possibly could do it if I tried, but I don't want to. Now the double backflip, nope. That's all you. I will never ever do that. Never. That's terrifying.
Yeah. You know, I mean, obviously, I'm not a wrestler, never will be, but for me, a move that I would never want to even think about trying to do or be on the receiving end of would be a vertebreaker.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it looks terrifying either way.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%, 100%.
Yeah, because if something goes wrong with that particular move, it could be catastrophic.
Yep, you're done.
So something that I've done in all of these, and it's just been kind of fun, is I have let the current guest pose a question for the next guest. So last night I had Florida Man on,
Okay.
and the question that he posed is, would you sign a petition to annex Augusta, Georgia into the state of Florida?
Wait, sign a position?
Yes, sign a petition. He's wanting to annex the world into Florida. So
no, I'm good. Florida can stay there. I'm good. That's fantastic.
Yeah, typical Florida man.
Typical Florida man, 100%. Did he know I was the next guest?
He did.
Okay. Because I was about to say, it's crazy that he said that though to Georgia. So that's why I was like, that's wild.
Yeah. So, do you have a question that you would like to pose to the next guest? And the next guest is actually at 7 tonight. I've got a guy named Tomer Shalom, who is an Israeli-born wrestler. And so I'll be talking to him at 7. Do you have a question you would like to pose to him?
That's let me think. Who does he like more? Who does he think is funnier? Jack Black or Will Ferrell?
Okay.
There we go. That's what we'll do.
So here is another question for you.
Okay.
If you could, and you can only be one, would you rather be great in the ring or great on the mic?
Oh, great on the mic. Great on the mic. That's I'm great on the mic. I mean, CM Punk, MJF, they're not like, they're good wrestlers, but they're not like insanely good wrestlers. But man, when that mic's in their hand, they're creating magic, and that's what got them so over. So if it was the choice of bumping my body or just talking and not bumping to get over, no, I'm great on the mic, 100%.
Gotcha. So we're getting toward the end of things. So, I guess talk a little more about well, I mean, obviously the back to school show that's coming up, and also any other shows you've got coming up that you'd like to hype.
Yeah, I mean, that same week, the Thursday of that back to school for PWE, August 10th will be viral in Augusta as well. And that will be the same show where, say his name and he appears, Joe Hendry will be on that show. So that one's going to be a nice show. I'm excited to meet Joe Hendry in person and talk to him. So, yeah, there's that one. I mean, there's a couple others that are coming up. There's Action Wrestling. I got AXW in Pennsylvania. Yeah, man, I got plenty.
Well, very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. And one final thing I want to do before we start to wrap things up is I'd like to get your predictions on the SummerSlam card coming up Saturday.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So, and these are in no particular order of the matches.
Yeah.
But Drew McIntyre and CM Punk with Seth Rollins as the special referee. Who you got?
I think CM Punk's gonna win. I think they're gonna keep screwing Drew over.
Yeah. The one thing that I would love to see, but I mean, the odds of it happening are astronomical. But I just think the crowd would come unglued if Jack Perry showed up and screwed over CM Punk.
Oh yeah, that would be insane. I think that would be a legit fight.
Yeah, I do too.
But that would get people talking.
Oh, no doubt. And with this, oh, wait a second. We seem to have an unexpected guest here.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we've got Mr. Henry here.
This man, we wearing the same tank top, I bet too. This man right here. Can he hear me? Can he hear me? Is he just gonna stare? That's his thing? Of course that's what he's gonna do. Of course that's what he's gonna do. Anthony Henry, that man really just gonna interrupt like that?
I guess so. That was bizarre. Maybe he'll come back. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll see. That man's got an AEW contract. He has nothing better else to do.
Apparently,
AEW must not be using them. If he wants to come in here and try to interrupt this,
I guess. Maybe he'll come back and actually say something.
we'll see.
Yeah.
If not, that's fine. He will probably have plenty to say next Thursday.
No doubt.
Or this coming.
So, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa for the Universal title.
Cody Rhodes. I don't think he's happy yet.
No, I would be shocked if they put the belt on Solo.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
But who knows? That's the beauty of this, and trying to trying to guess what the booker is going to do is always fun.
Yeah, 100%.
But so Damian Priest versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Champion.
I want to say Gunther, man. I think Gunther needs to win it. Gunther needs it, especially how they're pushing him.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like giving Priest these cool matches, but they're just giving him these nice matches. But Gunther's gonna win it, man. Gunther's gonna the way they're pushing Gunther a lot differently than Priest.
Absolutely. So Nia Jax versus Bayley for the WWE Women's Belt.
Nia Jax.
And then the question is, does Tiffany Stratton cash in?
No, I don't think so.
You think she'll hold off for a while?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Okay. So Liv Morgan versus Rhea Ripley for the World Women's Championship.
Man, that's a tough one.
It is.
Because I can also, because I can see, man, I don't know. I know Dominic's coming out for something. He has to.
Yeah.
He has.
The question is, which side does he land on?
Yeah, I don't know. I can see it's weird because I can see it's like Dominic's already a heel, but I can see him do a heel turn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll say I'm gonna go with Liv. I'm gonna go with Liv.
Okay. Well, actually, I just got a communication from Anthony saying he can't get his mic to work.
Oh, really? Of course.
Yeah.
Of course he can't. Of course Anthony can't get the mic to work. It's all right, Anthony. It's okay. I understand. Hey, I mean, listen, dude. I'll be a little scared too. I'm on a streak. I'm on a win streak, especially against you. So I know. It feels good to be the champ, Anthony. Feels good.
So we fixing to be 3-0?
We fixing to be 3-0. I'm gonna be hurting, but we fixing to be 3-0. Here's the thing about Anthony. He doesn't like to mess around. He's a dangerous man. He really is. He is a wrestler, but he is also a fighter. And I'm not gonna lie to you. He's gonna beat the hell out of me. He is going to beat the hell out of me.
Oh, wait a second. He is back.
There he is. What you got? Is your mic working now? Nah, his mic ain't working. These pecs are popping though. Look at that. You got some of that? Yeah, his mic ain't working. He don't know what he's doing. He doesn't know technology. Who does know technology? The champ. The champ does. The champ knows technology.
Yeah.
So, boom.
So, Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the U.S. title.
Man, people want LA Knight to finally win his first title, and I think this might be it. I think SummerSlam's it.
I do too, and he has had such a great run with WWE, and even before that, when he was Eli Drake in TNA and NWA, I
I had
mean, he has been just awesome.
I had a match with him a couple years ago at Viral when he was
Really.
when he was Eli Drake, and his name is Sean as well. So
Hmm.
he's fantastic. He's really nice. He's a great guy. But yeah, when he Eli Drake, man, yeah, it was great. And it's like he's a perfect example too of his age. Usually won't see people at his age get signed to WWE and get moved to the main roster like that.
Right.
There again, here comes the wrestling does not matter.
Yeah.
The LA Knight, yeah, him on the mic, his gimmick, it's so over that that's what the people want to see. They don't
Yeah.
care about his wrestling. I feel like it's like that with Joe Hendry. Like some people may want to watch it, and has no disrespect on any of those two at all. They get it. They're over. They don't care about seeing the wrestling. They want to see Joe Hendry's song, and they want to see LA Knight's chant. Yeah, So
Hmm. Well, I heard a story that when LA Knight got signed with NXT, that he told Hunter, if I am not over in 6 months, you can release me.
yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
Coming in
I
with that kind of confidence is just, that is so cool. I
yeah,
mean,
I believe it. I believe it. He's really good.
yeah, yeah. And like you said, I've heard that he is actually a great human being.
Yeah, he is.
Just a really good guy.
He was really nice. He was really cool. Um, he helped me out too because I remember we had to push our match back because he was showing up late and because plane delays and stuff like that because he was getting flown in, and so I was already trying to like think of stuff to do, and when he comes to the back, I'm explaining everything like I had an idea of this and that and that and that, and he said it sounded great. And there was a few little details he wanted to change up and switch, but other than that, he was like, "Sounds great." And then he told me, he was like, "Hey, it was really good of you if you like, having your stuff and thinking of stuff to do. So really good job." I was like, "Well, I appreciate it."
Awesome. So Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental.
Man, it's weird because I didn't see him losing the last one. That one was
Yeah, I didn't either.
that one was a shocker. So I don't know. It's one of these things where it's like if you make Braun lose again, like what is up? So I don't know. I got Braun on this one. I just don't see what they're gonna do with him if he loses again. I don't know. Like he goes even crazier. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed Sammy's run as Intercontinental Champion, but like I don't know if you can realistically have Sammy go over Braun twice. I
Yeah.
mean, but anyway, it's altogether, it looks like it's going to be a really good show. I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out on Saturday.
Yeah, man, I'm excited for SummerSlam. It's gonna be good. I think the match I'm more excited for is the Drew McIntyre and CM Punk
Yeah.
because what's so funny, and I'll say it one more time, the wrestling doesn't matter, and the reason why I'm looking forward to that match has nothing to do with the wrestling. It has to do with the story.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all it has.
And WWE in particular right now is just firing on all cylinders as far as the storytelling goes. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it is just
Triple H is the goat.
really,
Triple H is doing a great job with all that.
he sure is.
Yeah.
Sure is. But Anyway, we're pretty much at the end of things, and I want to thank you for your time. This has just been absolutely terrific. I've really had a blast talking with you. I love this stuff, and I love just nerding out about it.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for having me.
Oh, like I said, this has really been great. And for those of you that have been watching this live, thank you. For those of you that will be watching this on a replay, thank you for that. If you like what we've got going here, definitely spread the word. This thing is really starting to take on a life of its own, and I'm just excited to see it grow.
Yeah.
And so, before we say goodnight, do you have any final words for Mr. Henry?
Mr. Henry, man, I think I said it. I think I've said enough. If he watches this or he hears it, I'm telling you, man, he's gonna beat the hell out of me. So I'm not saying I'm scared, but I'm at least trying to leave, walking. I'm trying to leave victorious walking. So he's gonna beat the hell out of me. He's a dangerous man. I'm not trying to anger him anymore. I'm already shaking. Nah, I'm just messing with you. But no, it's gonna be good. I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun match. I definitely encourage people to come out and watch this one. I really do. It's gonna be legit. My goal is to capture the non-wrestling fans and turning them into wrestling fans. And I guarantee the match between Anthony and I will do that. So I hope a lot of people show out.
Awesome. Well, everybody have a wonderful night. I will actually be back at 7 o'clock tonight with Tomer Shalom. I've basically got a double header tonight, and I've got a double header tomorrow night. Tomorrow night at 7, I have a masked wrestler by the name of Smiley the Psycho Superman. He's out of New York State. And I've got him at 7, and then at 8:45, I've got Ghetto Gear Solid. So
they were at the last.
Yeah, they were, and I definitely enjoyed what they had going on. It was kind of funny when they came out to the ring. They handed my son their water bottle and and told him to hold it, so he did, and they never came back for it. So
That's hilarious.
Yeah, yep. So anyway, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you at 7.